If you don't know me, my name's Isaiah Caldwell. I used to be 430 pounds and I've lost over 200 pounds now. When I first started dieting, I had no idea what I was doing. Now, I think I'm kind of an expert at it. There's been a lot of talk lately on food pyramids. Our fat president has a food pyramid for you, and I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't think it's perfect for weight loss. Now yes, eating whole foods is at the cornerstone of any good diet. However, I do think I'm being completely unbiased when I say that my food pyramid is the best dieting pyramid that exists. Now at the base of the pyramid, you have whole food protein. I have a recommendation here of 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight. That's gonna come from things like lean meat, eggs, fish, dairy, etc. And it's really important that most of your protein comes from those sources because they are all going to be very nutrient dense. Food serves multiple purposes in our body. There's energy coming in that we need to complete functions. You have the macronutrients, which are proteins, carbs, and fats that serve different purposes within the body. But you also have micronutrients. Think about how pirates would get scurvy on the open seas. Because they couldn't bring fruits and vegetables with them. So again, vitamins and minerals are important. That's going to be a constant theme of this pyramid. And lean meat sources in particular are extremely rich in micronutrients. So don't sleep on them. With that being said, we do have about 25% of the bottom layer being taken up by protein snacks and drinks. Why, you may ask? Well, they're not that nutrient dense, but they are fun and they help you hit your goals. Don't let anyone fearmonger you on the ingredients. Hear me very clearly. If you're fat, the ingredients of the food that you're eating don't really matter. What matters is the calories, the macronutrients. So in this category, you do have protein shakes, although they're not that satiating. So be cautious with them. You might be burning up a lot of protein without very much fullness going into your stomach. But you also have protein bars. You know, there's amazing protein bars that are like candy bars. You know, if they're like 20 to 30% of the protein you're having for the day, I don't really care about that. The options are endless, and I'm not saying to have any protein bar. Some of them do taste like crap, but you can find a good one that you like and stock up. And if it's about 20 to 30% of your protein for the day, it's no big deal. Now, the next layer of the pyramid is high fiber carbs. Now, when I say high fiber carbs, what I'm mainly talking about here are fruits and vegetables. Things like berries, spinach, squash, bananas, apples, especially kiwis. These are all going to be extremely nutrient dense, and the nutrients are complementary to the lean protein that you're already eating. I'm telling you guys, I know this sounds like rocket science, but eating fruits, vegetables, and lean meats should be the cornerstone of your diet. All the other stuff that people say, oh, keto this, carbs this, it's noise, it's white noise. Whole foods, eat majority whole foods, and you'll probably lose weight without even trying. Now, with that being said, there are other products that have a lot of fiber in them that can be quite nice to have. This would be the other fraction of the second bar of the pyramid that I call keto hacks. Because for a long time, the keto diet took over the world. They have so many products like keto tortillas and keto bread and all this different stuff that has tons of fiber. And fiber is pretty good for you. It slows down digestion. It makes your meals feel a little bit more satiating. And I find that they can make meals more palatable without adding very many calories. Now, with that being said, I wouldn't rely on these for all of your fiber, hence why it's a small section of the bar, but you can include them in your diet as often as you like, as long as you can tolerate them well. The next level of the pyramid is high satiety fats, an emphasis on the high satiety fats because fats are going to be the most calorically dense macronutrient that exists, and they're going to be something that you can get your hands on way too easily. A lot of people think when they're dieting, I should be eating nuts. No, you shouldn't. You don't really need dedicated fat sources when you're dieting. At least most people don't. The reason why is because most of your fat is going to come from your meat sources. The bottom of the pyramid, remember, that's the biggest chunk of your diet. So if you're eating a lot of beef and chicken and fish, etc., you're going to get a fair amount of fat that comes with it. Now, if you're somebody that eats like chicken breast all the time or tilapia, maybe you want to pair it with an avocado or something that's a little bit more satiating that still contains fats. Because I do think you should get at least 60 grams of fat a day, just for general health purposes. But usually it's going to be pretty easy to hit that even on accident. So again, I'm not saying it's a bad idea to include some avocado or something that's a traditional healthy fat, but just know that even healthy fats contain calories, and the whole goal of dieting is to keep you full while you're in an energy deficit. So you don't want to be having things that have a lot of calories but don't really fill you up. I'm looking at you, peanut butter. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you guys like peanut butter, but when you're dieting, why are you eating peanut butter? It's not a good source of protein, it's a fat source, not a protein source. All right, next layer of the pyramid is maybe my favorite layer, and that is carbs based on training. Now, these are the fun carbs. This is essentially any carb you can think of that doesn't contain a ton of fat. And if you're doing high intensity training like running or weightlifting, you can have these. In fact, if they're lean, like rice cakes, you can have a lot of them. Those carbs are like gasoline in your fuel tank. They'll make your training more effective, and they'll give you the ability to build muscle easier. However, you don't need a lot of energy to sit on the couch and watch TV. And this is probably part of what got you in this situation. I talk to people all the time that eat Clif Bars on a diet, but Clif Bars were designed for hikers so that they could get energy in really, really quick and efficiently while they're on a hike. They were not designed for people sitting on the couch. If you're sitting on the couch, you should be getting energy in as slow as possible because you're not burning burning very much. Not as fast as possible. All right, in the very peak of the pyramid, the smallest chunk that you might even have to zoom up on your screen to see is cheating smart. The reason why it's so small is because you shouldn't be cheating that often at all. You should structure your diet so that you enjoy it, so that you don't feel like you need to deviate so often. However, I know that's not realistic. I know we're gonna have to have off-plan meals from time to time. And so my instruction to you is that when you do it, you cheat smart. There are a few recommendations I have for cheating smart. Number one, I recommend that you still track the calories for that cheat meal. Now I know you're gonna say, oh, that takes the fun out of it for me. Good. I also know you're gonna say, well, I don't know exactly how to track it. It's normally at a restaurant. I don't care. Estimate. I want you to imagine going into a high-end store and picking any item there, giving it to the cashier and handing them your credit card and just going, we'll see what happens. That's essentially what you're doing every time you have an off-plan cheat meal and you have no idea how many calories are in it. And you would be shocked how high it can be. It might be 5,000, 6,000 calories and you have no clue. Or it could be 2,000 calories and you go, you know what? That was worth it. So track the calories so that you can actually make an educated decision. Rule number 2 for cheating is you never go off the rails. When I was at my heaviest, having a cheat meal was an all-day event. If I knew I was gonna cheat the next day, I'd wake up early. More time to cheat. And a lot of times I would eat more food than I even wanted, just because I could. Take a second to think about it. If you're gonna be miserable afterwards, is it even worth it? And if you're gonna tell me, oh, well, I just wanna be able to stuff my face, then again, listen to yourself. I'm telling you, I've said that before, but it is an addict's behavior. Don't go off the rails. Have something that you enjoy, but don't go crazy. Not when you're trying to lose weight. And the last thing is a bit of an advanced tactic, and you certainly don't have to do it, but something that I like to implement when I'm gonna have a cheat meal and I really wanna stay on track is a protein sparing fast. That means a fast sparing protein, meaning you're going to fast on every other macronutrient except for protein throughout the day. So you wake up, you have a protein shake. It has like 2 grams of fat and 3 grams of carbs. Maybe for lunch you have another lean protein source like a protein bar or a protein shake. You might be pretty hungry at this point, but you know you're gonna have a crazy meal for dinner. So up until your cheat meal, you've pretty much only had protein. Maybe you've had 400 or 500 calories. But when you mix a fat and carb bomb with a whole day of protein, you have a somewhat normal day of eating. Now it probably won't be perfect, but it'll save you from being completely off plan. I like to use these for like birthdays or events, things that I have to go to where I know I want to eat some cake and I don't want to feel weird, but I do still want to, generally speaking, hit my goals. And the last thing I'll say is this. When I started my weight loss journey, I was 430 pounds and hopeless. I tried and failed to lose weight at least 5 times. I thought I was broken. I thought I didn't have the genetics or the discipline to make it work. But it turns out the reason why I was failing is because I was trying desperately to stick to a terrible plan. If you're failing to lose weight, the worst thing you can do is think that your plan is perfect and you're the one that's the problem. Now, if you don't want to do all that planning, if you want someone else who's been there before to hold your hand through every step of this process, go to my website and fill out a form for a free consultation. I've coached dozens of people to lose over 100 pounds. I've coached men, women, people that are over 400 pounds, people that are 200 pounds, people that are 150. But with all that being said, thank you for watching the video. And if you liked the video, please like it and comment, or maybe share it with one of your fat friends. I'd also appreciate a comment if you have anything you think I should add to the pyramid. I want to hear from you, but otherwise I promise you can do this. Good luck. I'm rooting for you.